Yo, it's Wulzy. Welcome back to the Geometry Dash building episode. It's been a whole week since I started the layout for my brand new level that is still not named. I'm going to leave it a little while just so I can let some names settle when it's a bit more decorated so it kind of fits the vibe more. We made this banging little ship section, probably some of the best gameplay I've ever made. This was in the last episode. Extremely fun, sight readable. I tried to do everything I could to make it playable because my last level was really not all that. First order of business, I'm going to place in some ground spikes just underneath some of the saw blades just by doubling up some of these ones and also just filling in the gaps because you can see there's a tiny little crack between them. Just going to use these little mini arrows to squish it together a bit and get rid of those. Then I'm going to link this thing together using my trusty link controls, and then I'm going to just place it areas like right here. Just going to warp that up and just point it right in the center of those saw blades. Going to have to warp this up and down at certain times. But they're going to be different shapes and sizes. I just want to make this a nice little piece that can sit under the level. Give it a bit of structuring. These two, I don't want to be the exact same. The saws are the same height, but I'm just going to mix it up. The warping feature is going to allow us to create some really cool shapes here. When I come to add more ground spikes, we can add a bunch of curves and stuff. Oh, I got to make sure these are layered below. That's very important because we want the invisible objects to sit on top. I'm going to put these on B4, so there's space for a background behind. Oh, the hitbox is like dead. Oh, for some reason, some of the hitboxes are going rectangular, like sideways. Some of them are just staying vertical. I don't know how that's even happened. Why are they different sizes? They are the same object, no? I want these to have no entry effect, so I'm just going to turn those off. They won't transition on and off the screen with the rest of the blocks. So for example, if I place one of these objects that makes the object kind of float up and down at the sides of the screen, these black objects just aren't even going to fade in the slightest. Going to turn off link controls, copy the values for these objects, and just stick on some little texturing objects around these portals like this, and then place an arrow on the inside, which is going to be scaled down a bit. Boom. It's going to be placed under all of the portals, just so you can see where they're going to be. Oh man, they look kind of strange just sitting there, don't they? I wasn't going to do this, but I think I am going to give them the same group as the portals, which is number 5. Now I'm going to structure these objects, and I'm going to try and add like little sections where they just like drop down a little bit and have extra spikes. I'm just going to place a few more saw blades just in spots where they kind of feel necessary. Ugh. This is a wide structure. I don't know if I like that. I try and avoid these at all costs because they could just end up looking tacky. Funny thing is about this kind of structuring is that realistically you're never going to touch any of these spikes. However, decoratively, it definitely helps the part stand out a little bit instead of everything just having flat edges. In fact, I'm actually going to move this spike to this side, even though you're never going to touch that, just because it balances this structure diagonally a little bit. Okay, now we're going to copy the values of those little ground spikes, and we're going to create these little blocks here that are going to be scaled up to like 1.25 maybe, something like that, just so they kind of stick out behind. A bit bigger, maybe 1.4 is the play. And we're simply just going to trace all of the objects we just placed. Oh, I just didn't put any structures up here. Interesting. Nice. We have this underlay now. This looks cool. I dig it. Okay, now radial blur. That's right. We're doing a gigantic radial blur on this thing. We're going intense. Ease in out. The fade time is going to just be like a 0.25 at the start. Now, this obviously shouldn't affect the whole level. This is unsight readable. We can set this to only B4. So now, as we go through, we have this parallax effect on all of the black detail in the level, which is pretty interesting. I dig it. There's a more interesting way to do things, though, I feel. Can I make this radial blur around the player? That is the question. Target. P1. Okay, well, this is interesting. There's a way to do this, I think. Oh, I don't want it to go on the Y. That kind of sucks. Because of the teleportations, it goes all crazy. Is there not a way to turn that off? That sucks. Oh, I can give it a group. Yes. Next free is 6. Okay, I'm gonna put that inside this trigger. Let's place an object for this to follow. We can put a star at the bottom, and then we can put a star in the center of the screen. This can be group number 6. This can be group number 7. If I just set this to a rotation at the very start of the level, 6 around 7, maybe 10 times in 30 seconds or something, just so it's constantly rotating. We can then have our radial blur that is dying because this needs to follow us as the player. So we have number 8. Let's just lock this to the x-axis right as the level begins. So that same 30 seconds, and then we just hide the two objects just by clicking this button. And now, boom, we have this radial blur that is going around in a circle here. This is interesting. Now the question is, would I rather this be a motion blur instead of a radial blur? Just to upgrade it, make it feel a bit more dynamic. Because I can change this more. Look at all the controls I have. If I target number 6, use X, use Y, this does a very similar effect and it just feels a bit more smooth overall. Okay, so this looks cool. This is a 0.25 value that I've put on both the X and Y. What I'm going to test is, will adding another rotation stop the one that exists? Say if I skip it 60 degrees with 0 move time, is it just going to cancel the existing rotation and apply that? Oh, it is just gonna skip it. That's cool. So if I add a 10-degree rotation here, and then I add a -5, like a couple of blocks later, and then I just loop these triggers at the very start, just so this already exists, I can then... Ooh! I've accidentally synced that to the music. Yo! What? I didn't even mean to do that. I can just make these more intense. So 30 and then -10, something like that. Wait, this looks awesome! Oh my gosh, I made something hype already. This is lit. What else can I add to this? So I have the blurring. As basic as it is, I think I'm just gonna add shockwaves before all of these portals. There's a slight repeating sound in the song that goes blow, like that. You hear it? Just to make it a bit wavier. Yeah, there's like a repeating sound that kind of goes blow, blow, blow. It works, I think. Okay, now I think I'm just gonna start making a background instead of just using this bright blue default background. It can go behind this whole shader layer. Yo, the particles on the blocks spin around for the drop. That is so funny and unintentional. I always go to the end of the orb tab looking for the particle, but it's actually in this one over here. So if I put this B5 and then... Ooh! That looks cool. If I have this particle with like the little blocks drop in, make them a little bit larger, increase the number of particles and calculate the... Ooh, that looks sick. I can actually reverse that and make them go up too. Wait, if I just have this flipped on the top, then I can create... Yes. Wait, this looks awesome. What's a good texture for this? I don't actually know. Ooh, that is so satisfying. Wait, do I want it black if the objects are black? Oh, this looks fuzzy without any kind of blending. Hold on, I gotta actually choose my colors now. Oh, that's an ugly shade of blue. Ew. More saturated, and then... Ooh, that's nice. Let's make it a light blue and a white as well, and we can just turn it back to additive. Dude, come on. Go FFF. There we go. This thing is pretty. Okay, B5. Go behind everything, and then flip... Move down to the bottom. This is something. I think I want to slow this whole thing down. Hold on. The speed is way too much. Oh, but that's what makes it spread out. Whoa! Holy jeez, that looks sick. Oh man, now I gotta redo this whole thing. Man. Okay, this looks more controlled, I feel. And then I can rotate them. Hold on, hold on, hold on. This is insane. This is insane. Wait, let me put them at the starting line. And then we can use the same center as this star, which is group number 7. Okay, I got this. I got this. I got this. Group 8, we'll move this all together. Make sure it doesn't fade or anything. Nope. Wrong button. This one. Wait, can't I just put this on group number 6 so it rotates? That would make sense. The particles look sick, but what I've realized is that by putting the particles on group 6 as well as this star that is rotating, the motion blur is no longer following that one target. The target is now multiple objects, which means that the objects are no longer motion blurring because it's just like, nope, screw that. So we have to give these a brand new group. We can put 12. And look here, I'm down to just copy these rotations and just change the group number to 12 and then maybe just put everything inside them to backwards. So we can have -10 instead of +10. All right, moment of truth. Is it gonna look fire? Let's find out. Yo! The combination of the glow and the motion blur goes so hard. I love the little skip that it does where it just rotates quickly 30 degrees and then snaps backwards. It makes it feel so much more lively than just like a solid movement. Just for reference, I'm going to copy this and make a new version and just take out that little spawn loop I made. So remember, it skips 30 degrees and then it goes back 10 and that's on like a little loop here. What if I delete that? It's probably going to look smoother, but I honestly prefer it when it's kind of skipping around. It feels so much more energetic. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't hit the same. Thinking of going with like a simple style, maybe? Something that's also blue, but not too outrageous, because I want this to be sight readable, dude. I really do. I want this to be like a really good playable level. That's the plan. That's the plan, dude. I don't know. Thank you so much for watching this Geometry Dash video. Hope the effect is fire. It is the entire video. I apologize. It took me forever to figure out. Check the links in the description. Leave a like and subscribe, and have a good day.